I will now call to order the annual meeting of the United Methodist Foundation, and I would like to introduce the Executive Director of the Foundation, Reverend Ted Frost.
On page 67 of your workbook, you'll find report 305. That's for information only. I'd like to lift one number from there. We have at the foundation now over $21 million of assets. Most of those are held for our local churches. And what we do is we make some prudent investments, and then we give out the income from that for them to do ministry. And I wanted someone to come and share how that looks. And I've asked Reverend Julia Melgreen of the Douglas Avenue United Methodist Church to come and share how that has blessed their church. Julia?
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Karen. Hey, Bishop. Hey, annual conference. I'd like to start with a scripture reading, and it is from the book of Luke, chapter 12. Don't chase after what you will eat and what you will drink. Stop worrying. All the nations of the world long for these things. Your Father knows that you need them. Instead, desire God's kingdom, and these things will be given to you as well. Don't be afraid, little flock, because your Father delights in giving you the kingdom. I was appointed to Douglas Avenue United Methodist Church in 2005, and I entered a church that was worried. They struggled a little bit financially. They weren't struggling as much as some churches do, but they were struggling. They were worried, and they had an endowment and they had a policy, but they were short on their general budget, and that happens sometimes. In 2009, we received a $900,000 bequest that changed our lives. We put a third of it into an elevator to help make the church more accessible for those with mobility challenges. We put a third of it in for buildings and maintenance because keeping church buildings going is expensive. But most exciting, we put $300,000 into what we call the program fund, designed to help us facilitate new emerging ministries, to start great ideas. Our leadership had already named neighborhood ministries as our focus, and we wanted to be present. We wanted to be seen in our neighborhood. One of the first things we did is we added staff. It took us a while to get it right, but we have it right now. We have a great associate pastor in Margaret Ann Jessup, and we have a youth leader, Devin Cartwright, who has transformed the youth room into a cafe where they now do fundraising by selling coffee to people who are going to drink coffee all the time. We started a new program. We started a Sunday night feeding program with educational opportunities after the meal, and the meal is offered to our neighborhood free of charge. We started an after-school program called Compass, not because we wanted an after-school program, but because we needed to gather demographics so that we could request funding for a bigger program, which was a summer Bridge the Gap thing. Our most at-risk children have incredible summer learning loss, and we wanted to start a summer Camp Compass. The Compass program became so successful that another social agency picked it up. It got funded by United Way, and it went into 5 different schools in Springfield, Illinois. That program this summer is launching as its own nonprofit. Started at Douglas Avenue United Methodist Church with money we invested in the United Methodist Foundation. We started a neighborhood garden because we were able to purchase property adjacent to the church. The most exciting thing that we are doing right now is a social enterprise called Wouldn't It Be Lovely? And Wouldn't is W-O-O-D-E-N. Wouldn't It Be Lovely? We are hiring single women who are struggling, single moms. Some of them have addiction problems. Some of them are hard to hire. They don't have very good work records. And we are asking them to repaint furniture. Now, if you have been paying attention to the world of charity in the world right now, handouts are not the way of the future. Social enterprise is. Employing people, helping them to receive income and dignity from work well done. So these single moms, we have 5 women hired. Some of them provide childcare for the moms, and some of them are painting furniture. We're going to have our first big sale the last Sunday of July. You're welcome to come to Douglas Avenue and buy. It's chalk paint. And if you've ever seen that, it's kind of a great way to refurbish old wooden furniture. So you're welcome to come and buy furniture. The great thing about having money in the bank, in the foundation, is that when somebody comes to us with a new idea, it's highly likely we're going to say yes. We want to do that. We are touching hearts and lives for Jesus Christ. People who have never been in church have found their way through our doors through these innovative programs. The United Methodist Foundation is good in 3 ways. Good investment. There's a couple ways to lose money. One is to invest in stocks, and the other way is to not invest in the markets. We have spent all this money, we've done all these great ministries, and we basically still have the same amount of money in the foundation. It has been a magical, miracle thing to watch that happen. The foundation is a good resource. Ted taught a class at our church about including the church in your will. That $900,000 that that woman gave to us changed things for us. And the United Methodist Foundation has good grants. When we decided we wanted to start Wouldn't It Be Lovely and needed some startup money, we wrote a grant. And Ted and the foundation gave us $10,000 as part of that startup. So they're good to give back into the community. Last night, the bishop's mom told us that we are a rich church. By the way, I would love to sit at your Thanksgiving table because I think you guys must have the most fun ever. I've never laughed so hard in my whole life as last night. She says we're a rich church, and she's right. So if we are a rich church, we need to say that out loud, and we need to be fearless. Ministry is meant to be fun and powerful and transforming. And if I might add, it's more fun with money. Way more fun with money. So let's be fearless and joyful and passionate. Let's be fearless to take risk. Be fearless to give your wealth to your local church. Don't hold back and make them act like paupers. If you've got it, give it. And churches, if you are sitting on great wealth, afraid for your future, tightening your grip on that money, let loose. Be fearless. I encourage you to imagine great ministries. And when people come with great ideas, say yes and boldly do them. Be fearless. Or like Jesus said, do not be afraid, little flock. Your Father delights in giving you the kingdom. Thanks be to God.